Oh, Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Grand Rising. Woo, what a
Nice.
glorious day it is. It may
Yes.
be blistery and cold outside, but baby, on the inside, right here where we celebrate the Elizabeth is warm and inviting. Welcome, welcome. It is December 23rd. Can you believe it?
Mm.
Can you believe it? It is December 23rd. We just got 2 more days or 1 more day before Christmas. And I don't know about you, but this year has flown by. And I'm waiting for what newness and wonderful blessings that are coming in 2023. So welcome, welcome. Yes, I want you to join us, our queen, Aduni, Sheila Hale, and our lovely, lovely Lolly Talbert. We are hosting on this Passion Friday, and we have some goodies for y'all this morning.
Yes.
Ooh, as we always do. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's nothing
Every
new.
morning is
Every morning,
delicious.
every morning is goodies. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we welcome you to this glorious and wonderful space, and we hope that you find something that fulfills your spirit and your soul while you are here.
I say, I say. Yeah, I like to call it to breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wake up and be with my sister, my queens, and I look forward to it every day, and every day is a different meal served. Just a different, and even the texture of it is different. Sometimes it's like, smoothies and tea, just drinks, just a lot of
Mhm.
goodness to drink on. And sometimes we get some meat and where we got to chew on it, you got
Yes,
to
meet
chew
the
and
eat.
chew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's toast and, you know, um, pancakes and just some eggs and oh god, and then just
Oh, there's some fruit. Oh, then we get the juicy
yes,
fruit.
oh, some good.
Ooh, so juicy. You know how you bite into it and it run down your arm. Oh,
Yeah, like the
I love
mangoes and
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, it's such an assortion of goodness, of goodness. Yes, yes, yes. No matter where we're going, if we have to even, you know, um, put in place that's not in place, or I don't want to use the word correction, but to to shift the thinking that is not working for us or an individual, to shift that thinking so that they go away with something else to say, okay, let me reconsider this, how I was looking at that, or how I say that, or and then sometimes it's somebody being freed. I mean, emotionally and um even physically, even though we're in our little boxes and in our homes, get that physical change. That's, oh my God, it's just good. And
Good.
and yesterday I really witnessed God's power and how God really takes care of us, the Elizabeth. And I'm speaking of us individually, but I'm also speaking of us as an organization. And that he showed up yesterday and showed out. Is that right,
Yes,
Juanita?
yes, he did.
Oh my
Yes, he
goodness.
did.
Let me say,
Amazingly.
ooh, 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 ooh. So I'm gonna stick to well, not so much stick to, but I'm gonna say what happened yesterday a little bit later. We have a guest, right?
We do. She'll be here shortly.
Okay. And um Danny, are you gonna start us off with the reading?
I have a wonderful reading for you this morning.
Mhm.
And I don't know if many of you, several of you may have heard about the other wise man. And it's a story about the fourth wise man who missed when the three wise men had taken off to follow the North Star to see the baby Jesus. And he spends all of his time trying to catch up to the three wise men, and he saw the same signs in the heavens, and he sets out to find the child Jesus, and he brings gifts of sapphire, a ruby, and a very precious pearl. But nothing goes as planned for him. Nothing. And we know what that feels like, right? So he misses his rendezvous with the other three wise men because he is delayed helping a dying man. Now, to cross the desert alone, he needs camels and supplies and sells one of his treasures to buy them. He arrives late in Bethlehem after saving the life of a child, using another of his treasures. But the child, Jesus, had left Bethlehem. And after many, many years of looking for Jesus, the many acts of charity, he spends his last treasure to save a girl from being sold into slavery. He dies without ever finding the Christ. But as he dies, he hears the divine voice saying, "As you have done for them, you did for me." His gifts were indeed accepted, and in a sense, he found God in a much deeper way than even the other three wise men. Even though this is a powerful story, we have to delve deeper to see what the true meaning really is. See, when things don't go your way, when we struggle, feel lost, when we endure hardships and delays, when the goal seems out of reach, this story is a reminder that truly nothing is lost. That in fact, we may be closer to our goals than we think. That we may have traveled further than we realize, and that every delay and setback may be working in our favor in a profound and wonderful way. At the end of our journey, we may see all the hidden miracles which were disguised as hardships. But to see them now is a miracle of faith. So, in this Christmas story, invites us to that kind of faith. Then the highest rewards call for sacrifice, patience, endurance, and goodwill. We all know that nothing worthwhile comes easy. And as this wise man found his great reward after what seemed like an endless struggle, he stayed true to his cause, persisted, and nurtured within him the desire to do good in spite of every struggle. This is the story of hope. The Christmas urges us to look at the aspect of life where we have lost hope or are losing hope. Can we choose to hope even when everything seems lost and seek the courage to endure? Then the greatest gifts the wise man could give God were his acts of charity, giving without measuring, giving repeatedly, giving even though it cost him dearly. If Christmas is about anything of significance, it's about giving. It's about God giving us everything, and about how we continue that cycle of giving by sharing what we have. Perhaps we ask ourselves this Christmas how we can give others our time, our resources, our talents, our listening ear, or maybe just a small gesture to tell people we care that they are not alone in their struggles. Can we give a message of love? So to me, it's really about these three things: faith, hope, and love. And I believe that Christmas, like every Christmas, can become significant when we become bearers of divine light by choosing faith, daring to hope, and committing to loving others, even in the very smallest of ways. So that is my offering on this Christmas Eve. and the gift of faith, of hope, and of love. Yeah.
Ashe.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That
Mm,
was beautiful.
Thank you. I'll share that with you all. I'll send it in the email so you can share it with others. Yeah.
mhm.
Thank you.
One of my favorite Christmas stories. Yeah.
Wow. Lolly, you want to share?
Sure. So I am going to share a couple of things. Not a reading today, but more so a reflection. So, earlier this week I was doing my 3-day fast, and there was a couple things that I just wanted to highlight from that. So, some of the things I learned during this fast is um that I find myself consuming out of habit, boredom, or stress. And consuming is not just eating food. It could be social media, it could be engaging in, I'm gonna call it the hanky panky, whatever it is. I sometimes will find myself consuming unnecessarily. And so during the fast, it forced me to have to literally, like, anytime, specifically with food, anytime I felt like, oh, I want to just go chew on something, I want to eat something, I want to consume something, I had to redirect my attention. I had to redirect my gratitude for where I was at, for what I had, for how I felt. I had to learn how to cope without taking from that point. So I had to turn to my meditation, which I'll speak on in a minute. Um, I had also learned during that time um about what being hungry means. Cause I find myself, I say I'm hungry. Am I really hungry? Even in my dreams and my goals and my aspirations. This is what hunger feels like. So do you like it? Are you gonna stay here? Are you gonna actually go out and do what you need to do? Are you gonna eat what you need to eat, learn what you need to learn, and improve what you need to improve to get to where you want and to follow your dreams and to actually attain your goals? Or are you just gonna be hungry? You wanna be here? That's cool. You can fast forever. But even in the story of like the original Buddha and Siddhartha Gautama, when he was on his fast trying to understand or find enlightenment, he actually found enlightenment after he finally ate, after fasting for a long period of time. And so the fast was important because it was the journey, but he had to finally eat and realize what it is he needed to do next. So that was something important that I took from that. Um, Spiritual awakening, that was another point because, like I said before, I had to put myself in a position where I had to redirect my attention. And so, literally, there was really 2 of the nights I slept in my meditation space. I slept there. I was like, I'm a little hungry. I can't definitely can't be in nobody's kitchen. My room is just not cutting it because I don't know what it was. It just didn't give me the same type of comfort during the fast. But I slept in my meditation room, and that way when I woke up, I just went straight into what I needed to do to set the tone for the day. But as I spoke on Tuesday, my dreams had become more vivid. And I actually had quite a few dreams back to back that I remembered. Now, at this point, I don't remember all of them, but there was a couple of them that stood out. And I've spoken in the past about how I find myself to be a dreamer and how I often um, get messages or things are revealed in my dreams. And so I spoke to you all about on Tuesday about the dream with my father and how I learned the importance of learning in order to get out of these cycles. Of course, there's action. You have to learn what you need to learn where you need to improve in your family, in your life, learn what cycles need to be broken. Of course, you have to learn that. And then after that, you have to take that action to actually break those cycles. But if you're not opening yourself and opening your mind to learning, you're just gonna be stuck. You're gonna be stuck in that vicious cycle. And that was really important. And also creating boundaries. Another dream of mine, which I won't go as into, but another dream of mine where a friend returned that, I had been having some struggles with, and I had to learn how to set boundaries. And it gave me that chance in person to set those boundaries. So that was something that was really important to me that I learned during the fast. But the last thing that I want to share is that this fast that I did this year is different from the one I did last year. But the one I did last year was introduced to me by the spiritual group that my ex was a part of, and well, my past partner was a part of. And during that time, it was kind of a plea for me to be able to start over. Last year, I was coming from a very hurt space because the winter solstice happened immediately after my breakup. So I was struggling and I had to go through that fast. But this fast was different because I realized now it's been a year since that period of time. And I actually, thinking back on it as I was writing and reflecting what I'm talking about now, I had to smile because I'm like, wow, it's been a year of healing, of learning, of pushing forward. And now I'm able to do this fast for me, not from a hurt space, but from a continuous healing space, which is so beautiful. And I mention that also because one person that I really trusted after the relationship was over was my good friend Zanga, who is here. And there was a few times where I did actually get a reading from her. And I don't trust everybody because you shouldn't trust everybody with that. But she's always been trustworthy, and she's always been very in tune with what spirit is giving and has to share. And she takes it seriously. So after Queen Aduni inserts her part for the day, I would love to introduce my friend Zanka.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes, just I like the distinction between your fast after hurting and going through that and this one for this year. Yeah. I love you guys. I just simply love every single one of you, and your sharing and caring, and I love the space. That's a safe space to talk about whatever we would need to talk about. And I was going to say, I'm going to share this with you, how God just showed up yesterday, because I want Zinga to, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I want Zinga to have all the time that she needs with us inserting wherever. But so this, let me tell you. So, I have had a relationship with Queen Afua. That was actually 10 years ago, because I turned 60 and I had a celebration, and she came down. And I had met her a few months before that, and she was coming down and doing her teaching and so on and so forth. And we had people taking the classes, but it was in my space. And the reason I have the shop where I have it now is because she was going to move down here, right? And then decided, even though we had, put down the money to have the space and had it varnished, the floor varnished, and all of that. When she said, let me know that they weren't going to be down here in Detroit, not relocate, they were going to expand, right? So I said, oh no, we're going to take that, because we were inside the building and we needed to be on the street so people can just walk into our space and we can have our sign. All right, so here we are 10 years later, right? And so, life has happened for both of us and stuff. So I was thinking about Queen Afua and the conference, and knowing where we are financially and having to pull everything together, blah, blah, blah. So, I need, and where she is, because she's out there, she's dealing with Jada Pickett, and she's, all this stuff that she's doing, right? And said, well, I know it's not going to be like it was before, where she would just come on down and we give her whatever we had and da, 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 da. So, in all that thinking, we went to see the Northwest Activity Center yesterday. Juanita met me there. Let me tell you, Juanita's brain is always on 10. She's quiet and she doesn't move fast, but that brain be going, the creativity, but you think maybe we can, and then she gently introduces stuff to you that's powerful, right? She says, when's the last time you talked to Queen Afua? And it's been years, blah, 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 blah. Well, just, thinking that, maybe she could come down. Anyway, so there's that conversation. And I'm in the conversation of it's been a long time. She's on a whole nother level, so on and so forth. So then, okay, so the day goes on by and stuff. And then we have a meeting so that I can tell the other girls what happened at the Northwest Activity Center, which was off the chain with that. I'm going to finish with Queen Afua, and then I'm going to get back to what happened at the space. So we're meeting and stuff, and you get into that conversation. Danielle was also involved in the training. She was heavy in my life right then. We were all at the shop. And so we're talking about Afua. What is she doing now? What kind of training does she have? Sacred Woman, should we do that or not? Blah, blah, blah. And as we're talking, it's been 10 years, right? As we're talking about Queen Afua, a text goes by the screen from her son. So I knew it was not just a general announcement to everybody I'm having a class and stuff. Brother Ali from Queen Afua's son. And I said, oh, do you know what just crossed my screen? And oh man. So basically what I wanted to share is just the timing and how God be putting things together. And okay, and this is what was being said, right? Because I had just said, well, I mean, all we can do is just connect with her and see what she says. And it said, greetings, Sheila Everett's, long time no hear. This is Brother Ali, Queen Afua's son. It's been a while since we last communicated. I pray that everything has been going well with you. At your earliest convenience, please give me a call. I would love to have an opportunity to share with you some of our company's vision for 2023. I would also like to hear some of your visions for next year as well. And maybe we can create some synergy and collaboration efforts as a result of the sharing. Until then, continue to stay blessed and amazing in all that you do. Give thanks, Brother Ali, aka Legacy Ali.
Wow.
The timing, at the timing of us talking about Queen Afua, this comes through. I was undone. And then, Juanita, what you don't know, I called my friend back in Chicago, and in our conversation, she says, have you talked to Queen Afua?
Oh my God.
She has never asked about Queen Afua.
Affirmation, confirmation.
So
Wow.
I said last night, I said, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and call. I'm just saying, it was like, mm. And when that came across there, first it was a question, and then it was like, okay, I'm stepping in. And then she, as we're talking, have you heard from Queen Afua? I would say, okay, that's it. That's it. That is it. I'm gonna tell you, that is it. So anyway, I am going to connect with them, and because God is definitely, there was confirmation after confirmation, after do this, after confirmation, after confirmation. So we talked yesterday about cutting ties, and then God will reconnect ties too at another time, because there's things that each of us have to do in our lives and stuff to come back together so that we can go to the next level. That happens in Dr. Kafira. I've known her since I came here. And there will be times that we'll come back together, and we have both learned some things that we needed to learn with other people, and we come back together and we're on the same level, ready to go to what was next. Anyway, so that was that. Went to because last thing I said was that we were going to be at the Pontchartrain. Well, something said to call the Northwest Activity Center. Are you all booking yet? Because the last time I called, they weren't booking from after COVID. Well, yeah, we are, but not until next year, because we're changing hands. And then, I said, I can't find out until January. I really need to know now. So anyway, I just relaxed and said, I'll just get it when I get in January. It's a week. And then the lady that I spoke with, now I've spoken to about 3 people now. Lady that I spoke with, she's the new person that's taken over, the booking and all that kind of stuff. She takes it to Miss Carr. Miss Carr, when I met her yesterday, she says, when she said, well, what event are you going to have? And I said, a women's conference. She just got so excited. And then when I met with her yesterday, I gave her this. As she sat down, we're waiting on Juanita to come. And she said, so I said, I went over to where she's sitting. I broke it down what this is. She got so excited, she almost started crying. She said, I want to cry because that's what I do. I deal with women, and I can't get any help. She's in her 60s, almost in her 70s and stuff. And anyway, she said, because of how many days we're going to have it, that she's going to give us a better price than what what would normally be asked of us. We got plenty of space for vending. We can vend out in the hallway. It's just everything just coming into play. Because as I've said many times, I do not touch. I'm very careful not to touch this, not to put my human, touch, and this needs to be happening, so on and so forth. And I'm careful not to. It doesn't mean that I don't. I'm just careful not to, and be aware of that. And anyway, she's connected with a lot of people in the political world. And but the thing was, when I explained what Elizabeth is, I said, you and Elizabeth, look how your baby's jumping just since I sat down and talked to you. I'm telling you. Anyway, so and then from there, the Queen of Afua thing just, and then from there, my husband and I will be presenting our baby there. And if you know what that means, it means that the audience will already be there. We don't have to force people to come, hope that they show up. It's part of the whole event. Not only that, but Juanita had mentioned when we was doing over at planning it for the Pontchartrain, switching, and she said, did y'all consider, moving it to Mother's Day? Well, it works over here that we're going to do it on Mother's Day weekend. And also the vision was always to include young ladies, our granddaughters, our nieces and stuff like that, to bring them in the fold so that three generations could be there. And we're all learning together and experiencing together as Elizabeth. So I'm just excited. I'm excited. I mean, yesterday, the Holy Ghost showed up powerfully. And that when that thing came across, I said, oh my God. So anyway, and Danny and Omani had mentioned to set my intentions and leave it alone. Set the intentions and leave it alone and let the Spirit work it out. So that's my testimony.
Yeah, praise God.
Woo!
I pray for all of us
Mhm.
that when those moments occur, we can get to the point we said, well, of course it did. Of course. Of course. Of course. Because miracles are always unfolding and sometimes in the smallest of ways.
Mhm.
But I mean, your spirit set an intention, and the universe had no choice but to accommodate the vision.
Mhm.
No choice.
Okay.
Only when you're in alignment now. It's not going to happen if you thinking one thing, doing something else, saying something else. Can't happen that way.
Mhm.
Okay? Oh, but when you're in alignment
Mhm.
with the spirit first, and then your heart feels it, your mind, how you speak it, how you walk it, with it. When it's in alignment, the universe says yes.
Yes.
Universe says yes. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Mhm. 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 There's a song. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, to your spirit and your ways. I'll say yes, oh yes, I will answer and obey. When your spirit comes to me, da, 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 I'll say yes, oh yes, I'll say yes. All right, introduce your wonderful guest.
All right. I did see Mama Evelyn. Were you gonna say something?
No, I just had a question when you were talking about fasting. I want to fast, and I just wanted to know. I believe we talked something a little bit about how you prepare to fast. So I just want to know a little bit more about that, but not right now. But just put it in the chat or just yeah, that's
Gotcha.
all.
Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. Well, since we're at it, I'm really excited today. I'm super excited because I feel like this is perfect timing because, speaking of the fasting, I was able to fast and completed it, and this week was just on our show was just amazing. So this is a great way to tie it all up. And so, yes, thank you, Mama. Had drum roll. Brrr. All right. I don't know if that is that. I don't know if that in certain areas that don't sound like a drum roll what I did, but it's okay. I have my wonderful friend and just spiritually in tune, creative, all around, amazing person, great spirit, Sagittarius, had to throw that in there. This is just, oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna let her speak on it for herself. But Zenga, come on out and share about who you are, Glad you're here.
All right. Thank y'all for having me. Great rising, great rising. And everybody that's I don't know what y'all been sharing, but everybody that shared today, congratulations. Especially I'm learning one thing I'm learning recently is to allow myself to be excited for everything I'm doing, no matter how big or how small. And that gratitude brings in more things for me to be excited about. So I'm learning not to police my happiness or my excitement for other people, because some people I'm really easily excitable. I get excited about the smallest of things, but that's me, learning because people I would think people gonna feel like, well, she ain't never had nothing, so why is she so excited about this pair of shoes, and I just bought a new pair and I'm excited about and like, why is she excited? But I'm just like, what is life if you're not excited about the things that you work for and that you attain or that you attract? Like, but yeah, anyway, I'm Zinga. My mother named me Rayanka. My dad name is Ray, so that's where that comes from. But Zinga means African queen in Swahili. I chose that name for myself. I don't even know how many years ago. Respected Zinga, particularly because I grew up feeling like I wasn't really too respected. Um, let's see, I don't really have a title, but I create organized pyramids, healing devices, for different ailments, different things energetically, physically, but they all transform negative energy to positive energy. So I've been doing that for like 3 years. I read cards for like 8 years, but I also can read without them. I do talk therapy, energy coaching as well, kind of like life coaching, but we focus not just on um personal trauma and stuff like that, but we get more into the occult and metaphysical aspect of things. Do plan on becoming a actual licensed therapist at some point. What else? I could do anything. I do a lot of things. I like to paint, I like to draw. I'm active. Because I'm a channel, and like you said, practicing and working on keeping my ego out of things, or my human aspect too much out of things, so I can give really good advice or channel information for other people who might feel like they blocked or something like that. So I do that. So therefore, I feel like even if I haven't personally experienced something, I can connect to the answer for other people. So that's what I do. And then teaching people to trust their own intuition and how to connect with that information themselves, because I don't want you to keep I'm in business to go out of business. I don't want repeat customers or repeat even with friends, because if we not learning from each other and we not doing better the next time, then something is wrong. So we got to get to the root cause of why you keep dealing with the same things, because I'm not the friend that's going to keep listening to the same things. I don't want nobody to enable me, so I'm not going to enable you. Um so that and I work with herbs a lot, so I don't sell things. There's a lot that goes on with that, but I could recommend things to people. My grandma was a nurse, so I feel like that healing aspect is in my blood, but I just go about it um like I'm like a doctor or a nurse of the mind, of the subconscious mind. So I'm more into that then I guess you could say the physical healing, but I feel like everything manifests first spiritually, then becomes a physical ailment. So I focus more on catching it before it actually manifests. Um, and the last thing, as far as healing, I've healed myself from HPV, sexual trauma, and precancerous cells is what they told me I had. And they wanted me to get a surgery. They said there was nothing I could do, but I just took a holistic route and an energetic route of what some people might call Reiki, but I know it first as laying hands on yourself. So that's what I did first. Because once they told me it could affect me being able to carry a child, I was like, no, that's not what we're gonna do. So that I need to get my records from them, but I got banned from that doctor's office because I wouldn't get the surgery. So, but I was in college at the time, so I didn't really think legally or I just was like, okay, I'm in school, I got exams, I'm healthy, and I just, didn't give too much energy to that. So I like when I went on the site, when it says passion and purpose, I like the question you have, what are you pregnant with? Because I ask people that. I have a card called the empress, and it's like a pregnant woman, and the belly is the earth. And I always tell people, like, you need to behave or move as though you are pregnant, because we are always birthing something. So I would like to say I'm pregnant with going into this new phase of life, the mature adults, I guess you could say. Because we say we grown, and I know I've been grown, but it's just things that I'm learning. And as I get closer with my mother, and I've surpassed the age. She had me when she was 28. I'm 32. When I was 28, I wasn't ready for no child. So just thinking about where she was and where she is now, kind of seeing things about her that I love. You know, sometimes we see the things that we don't like about our mothers. And I'm now into the part of looking into my past and my childhood and seeing the things, and I'm like, oh no, y'all set me up real good. You know, like I learned from the things that they did that I probably shouldn't do. And it's now, but you know, there's a lot of traits and things that got me to where I am now. One being, I was raised by all women. There wasn't really too many men in the house besides my grandfather, and he worked offshore. And all the women were very masculine, a lot of masculine energy. So growing up and wanting to be in relationships and getting to know people, that didn't work out for me. That heavy masculine, I could do it myself. I don't need no help. You know, I gotta be so physical with it. Didn't really serve me. But when it comes to teaching people, when it comes to talking to people, when it comes to the act, you know, if I have to handle it, I will handle it. When it comes to integrating the masculine and the feminine energy, I guess like it helped me with that because that's all I knew. And a lot of men come to me and confide in me because of that reason, because I was raised so heavily masculine, but I've been learning how to balance it out since then. But I'm pregnant with, like I said, this next phase of my life that I'm birthing. What's next on your agenda of life? I'm in New Orleans right now visiting, but I'll be moving to California, starting a road trip to California on December 27th to work out there, to build out there, to work with the land out there, which is something I've been doing for a few years now. And what's your passion and your purpose for life? Okay, so depending on what you believe, and you know, I know this is my last lifetime here incarnating as a human. So knowing that, I want to get the most out of it. I don't want to, like, all my talents, my love, my gifts, I just want to wring all that out and leave it here. Like I don't need to take those things with me where I'm going next. You know, like I just being able to show up in my full essence. That's my passion. I feel like there's been times I haven't done that. I know I've seen and I know a lot of my past lives in detail, but as far as this life, I'm not who I was. I was a very timid child. I still like to be to myself. Energy wise, I'm very I pick up on people energy really easily. And if people around me don't shield themselves, when I can't make them do that, it's like their emotions and how they feel is just always, I could just walk past somebody and feel how they feel. I don't want to feel how you feel. Like that's your business, but I can't tell you you need to shield. So, you know, it's a lot of energetic work to keep myself. I got three of these on. I'm heavily protected because I can't deal with the interference of other people. You know, I just want to be able to hear my thoughts, hear the divine, and that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to follow. I don't need um how do you say, not saying I don't take advice from other people, but at the end of the day, I don't need people's energy influencing my decisions, if that makes sense. Um so that's what I'm passionate about, enjoying life. You know, I feel like I just felt like half of my life, and I'm 32, but it feels like I've been here for a very long time. And it's just been, a lot of it's just been not as much joy as it could have been, if that makes sense as well. So I'm not, in a sense, I feel like I'm making up for lost time. I just want to enjoy it to the fullest. And I have a lot of purposes, but just to sum it all up, it's about helping people. And I do that in so many different ways, whether that's just showing up sometimes. I babysat for somebody the other day last minute. I have the time. Don't do I feel like doing it in this moment you ask me? I really don't. But I know once I get there and I'm around the children, I'm gonna be glad I went, and I'm glad I went. So just learning, I feel like one of my purposes is really, this cat needs to get out my stuff. What is she doing? One of my purposes is definitely showing people that you can have all your needs met and still show up for other people. Boundaries. All right, boundaries for sure. I feel like just being who I am and showing up as who I am and allowing people to see my journey and sharing my journey. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go get. There's a cat in the room, and I need to go get her because I don't want her to pee or poop on my.
This is good though so far, y'all.
Very good.
I'm sorry about that. We have a freeze here or something, and she not gonna go outside. He's back outside. Just she gonna have to go outside. So yeah, I don't know if y'all have any questions or any topics or anything you want to specifically talk about, but that's where I'm at with things. Just going deeper into this work that I do. I'm also a doula. I experienced my first live birth at the end of November. So I don't think I'm gonna monetize that. I feel like I'll just be a doula for the tribe or the community that I'm building, and travel as needed because I don't feel like birth work is something that I want to be like, I need this to survive type of thing, like if somebody wants to compensate me or at least fly me in, and I stay at their home. I feel like that's good enough for me right now at this point when it comes to that. But after seeing a live birth for the first time and being able to help her through it, that's my goal, to have a at home kind of unassisted birth, water birth, not in the hospital, no epidural, none of that. So I saw her do it and I'm like, I can do this. Like I really like just the experience. That's one of my purposes and passions, is really to travel and experience things that I've used to be afraid to experience. I used to be afraid of childbirth, and I grew up thinking I couldn't have children. Nobody ever told me that. I just assumed that was what it was, just afraid of what that could mean, or it just anything negative associated with childbirth, basically. But after being there and experiencing it, I'm like, it was so beautiful. Like, no, like I can do this, and we know what to do, basically already. Don't need nobody else telling us how to do it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I love
Mm-mm.
it. Okay, so this is a great start to the conversation, and you just fed us with so much information about you. Um, and it was refreshing for me as well. So thank you. But can you speak on your journey to understanding these passions and purpose in this lifetime specifically? Like, can you speak on what kind of brought you there? Were there any milestones that you want to speak of that really brought you to where you are now?
Hmm. The first so the milestones or the happenings was, so we're programmed through what symbols and trauma and repetition. So it's the repetition of these things. So it was all traumatic things that got me here. So in the moment I would view them as negative things, or why is this happening to me? But looking back, I see why it had to happen. So it was always something traumatic, and also I was not anymore, but I was very stubborn growing up. So I wasn't listening. Spirit would like it would be something really major and that traumatic to get my attention. And then I stopped liking the drama of it all, or it just got to be too much. And I'm like, I'm gonna listen the first time. So experience, I'm like if I have a feeling about somebody or about something that I shouldn't do or something that I should do, I should listen the first time. But let's see, there were some times that I did not listen. So not listening is what helped to guide me here. I will say, as far as like spirit and knowing, because we talk about, now I've seen and experienced a lot of different things. I'm sure if you see me on Instagram, but one thing I do is I speak to people's ancestors. I do entity and attachment removal. Um, my step grandfather passed, and I actually saw something fly over me and leave the room. And so that was my first, I was always church right in front of my house. So I went to a Christian private school. Like, we was always in church all the time. So we read about these things, we read about the Holy Spirit and this and that, and I'm like, I ain't never saw it. Like, what y'all talking about? So to actually sit there and see that happening, I feel like, and experiencing, and one thing I teach about is death as well, death and rebirth, but to be able to see it, I was like, okay, I was in high school. I was just like, okay, I didn't know what it meant, but I was like, okay, um, that's how I feel. Exactly, no words. I was like, okay, well, that's something that happened. Um, and then going into, so we always put into a scenario or the position to show up for ourselves or other people to use our gifts and to understand the purpose for us being here. So when I was in Houston, I was sent to protect a woman and her children from something that she had done spiritually, which I didn't know what it was at the time. So it turns out she was into reading cards and doing things and not protecting herself energetically and cahooting with spirits and people that she didn't really know. And me being put in that situation, that's when I first was able to see through people in a sense, or being able to see people true form, or I don't even know how to say it. I just say see spiritually, because it's not actually something physically I'm seeing, but I could just see through it. I feel like that was definitely one milestone, or one. I'm not gonna get too much into it because it's a very, very long story. But long story short, that was my first time seeing somebody who was quote unquote possessed or being controlled by energy. And before then, I only read about that literally in Bible school, or my grandma or somebody. People tell you about stuff like that, but no, it's real. So I was like, oh, okay, there's a lot of truth to this. So just literally being put in the positions, and if it wasn't for my upbringing and the things that I have been taught, I would have just wrote it off as I'm crazy, or I don't know what I'm talking about, or this is not real. I feel like another one for myself and probably other people as well is relationships, because all our relationships teach us something. Romantic relationships. I had one of my biggest, I guess you could say, spiritual breakthroughs when I met somebody who I thought was be my partner, but that definitely wasn't my partner. And after that, I just broke down, like, because everything was just going really good, and I didn't see it coming. So I started going more into reading my cards and journaling and spending a lot of time by myself. I feel like the isolation, like they say, isolation breeds elevation, is true. So starting to go within, that was really what helped me to understand my purposes and my passions, just more time by myself, and knowing that it's sacred aloneness. And it's not that I'm lonely, it's not that I don't have friends, or um that I just don't like people, just knowing that I just needed time and space to be, first of all, with my own thoughts and feelings, because I don't want to be feeling other people's stuff, right? To see how I really feel about me, or how I really feel about the situation. And then, like people say, when you get quiet, you hear the word of God. Like, it's just easier when you create the space for it. Just like when you in your meditation room, like, that's the point. Like, um I had to create the space, but for me the space wasn't just a room, it had to be my whole life. So I was like, oh, okay, this is what we doing now. And just because I'm inquisitive and I like to see what happens, I'm an all or nothing kind of person. There's not a lot of middle ground with me. Either I'm I'm finally I eat intuitively now, but at one point it was like it's gonna be all vegan, this, that, it's just I'm usually that's how I am. And I thought it was a flaw, but I see it as a good thing at this point, because I can shift easily. I can stop doing something and go completely the other way. And then I'm learning now at 32 okay, let's back it up. We could find a balanced space, there. But because I could just shift that easy, I'm like, okay, well, let's do this now. Let's from going out all the time, let's just not be out at all. It wasn't like a hard, transition for me. Let's see how this feels. So I do like a lot of time by myself, for real, for real. Um, but yeah, I hope I answered your question. That my grandmother, it's always when the grandmothers are the head of the family's transition. That was definitely one, 'cause she took care of everybody. So, and she reminds me, don't be like her though. Don't sacrifice my happiness in my life for the family. You know what I mean? Like there has to be a balance there. She told me I was the only one with common sense for a long time. And I didn't know what she meant. I know what common sense is, but I couldn't understand why she was telling me that. I can see it now. I'm visiting New Orleans and I haven't been here in over a year and a half, and I'm reconnecting with people who I haven't even seen before that, and family members, and reading the energy and going to the house I grew up in, and I'm seeing what she's been preparing me for. I'm the only girl, so what she's been preparing me for since she was the one who raised me. So it makes sense. So yeah, so my grandmother passing was definitely her preparing me to pass the torch to me in a sense. What else? I would say those are the major ones that come up. My father is passing as well, that too. So, but yeah, you gain a new ancestor and somebody to connect with, and I feel like the relationship with them has strengthened since we don't have the human aspect in between us, or the differences in between us. Because her in human form, she never knew I read, but I don't think she wouldn't disown me for it, but I don't think she would be like so interested in it. But in spirit, it's different. It's a different energy, because she can see clearly what I'm doing, how I work with it, how I use it as a therapy tool. I even write my own cards now with my own words on, that's what it's about for me. So somebody in the chat.
Yeah, Mama Hat. I'll read the question out loud for everybody. So the question for Zinga was, what was your deepest epiphany during creativity over Void Idol Days lockdown? So what that means is, what was your deepest epiphany during that COVID season that we had?
All right. I made the most money, not to just make it all about material things, but I made the most money during that time. So I had to, but what I do, so I had to, that caught my eye. I'm like, what's going on? So I moved in with my mother during that time, and I never lived with just her. She didn't raise me. So I never had that, I live with my mother thing happen. So you live with somebody, you get to know them, right? So yeah, we not best friends. We don't argue and fuss and fight, because I don't argue with nobody, because I ain't got time for that. But it was coming to a head. I had to tell her some things, and one day I just started channeling and telling her this about your childhood, and you need to talk to your dad. I never met her father, my real grandpa. I'm like, you need to talk to him. He be walking around here. The cat don't like it. I don't like it. Like, oh my gosh, you need to address your. I can't even remember. Sometimes I just kept saying, I would just kept saying the same thing over and over. I can't remember everything I said. And she was like, I don't know who you are anymore. And she gonna blow the candles out on one of the altars I had up, not knowing that altar is for my great grandmother, your grandmother. What do you but it's things like that. And I can't remember everything she told me, because if it's not truth about me, it don't even get in. Actually, she just said some things. I know she didn't mean it, but I told her I know she loved me, but she don't like me. I knew that. I told her I guess we could talk about it, so I got to see where I think at one point she kept saying this. I don't know. It was just, I saw the child in her. That's what happened. That's really what happened. That was the epiphany, to be like, she don't know what's going on. Like, and And I can't expect her to know what's going on. I can't expect her to show up. She just don't know. Like, she don't know. And I feel like when she had her first child, oh my gosh, she was maybe 18. So I can't fathom with things that she didn't been through. Some of the things I know and she don't know, I know because her sister, my aunt, got a big mouth. So I know she's dealt with sexual trauma and abuse and things, and I could feel it and see it. So I saw her in a different light. So that allowed me to see certain things I've experienced, not as intense as her, but similar, because we passed things down. So things she didn't address, I was like, okay, I told her, I say certain things are coming up in my life because of things you've done, and not to blame her, but it's just things you didn't address because your mother, my grandma, didn't address it. We have a history of sexual abuse and trauma in the family, and I was like, that's not going to my niece, and that's not, that's stopping with me, period. So that was one of my biggest epiphanies, living with her, and seeing that my mother is having this experience just like me, and I don't have to have her on a pedestal. So I took her off that pedestal during that time, and that allowed us to become closer, to be honest, because I'm not holding her to this, your mother is like your first God here in this, right? That's all you know. That's how you survive. So I took her off of that pedestal so she could just be, literally, because nobody, I wouldn't, if it was me, I wouldn't want her to. She kept saying I did the best I could, which I did the best I could. And I'm not even blaming you. You see, she blaming herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'm just telling you things that I see and I feel, and I'm letting you know I wasn't around. There's things I know about you that you experienced when I wasn't even born yet, because I was an egg inside of you. I experienced all of these things. And then spiritually, I see these things. So that just gives me more confirmation, she really, okay, the cat trying to get out. You really did, go through a lot of different things, and I can understand if I didn't go through it myself. In a sense, letting her know she don't have to, put herself down or feel like she's a bad mother or something like that. Because I feel like she feel like that, but I don't, like I said, I don't hold her to that standard. Neither my grandmother raised me either to that standard, because I like to feel like she really does the best she can, and she still does, and she still show up for me. I'm at, what time is it? I gotta go pick her up in 30 minutes or so. She's paying for me to get the brakes put on my car. I let her show up for me. I let her do things for me when she wants to. Yeah, because that's the kind of person she is. I realize acts of love is her love language, like doing things. And it's not because I can't do it myself. Just her mother was in nursing school when she was a child. So she wasn't physically there. So she's trying to be what her mother wasn't. I see it. And I'm making sure I'm not going to be a helicopter, overly concerned parent, because my mother was kind of absent. I don't want to be overbearing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to smother. I don't want to smother my children. So I don't, as I watch and commune with other people's children, I just kind of watch them and let them, I let them be sometimes, because I'm practicing, because I already know.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's we got people in the chat, Thank you. Mom, what was that? Mama had said, people don't consider that part. They carry time, a conception, a moment. And she said, thank you. So yes. We have questions or comments from Queen Aduni and then Star.
Zinga, I have two things. One, I want to show you this.
Yes.
You were talking, I don't know if you said you saw one or a picture of one, but Sister Alita sent this to me of carrying the world, being pregnant with the world.
I like, it's pretty. Yeah, I said it was on one of my cards called the Empress.
Yep. And then she has braids. That's my trademark, is braids. I do natural hair. But I also wanted to ask you, how did you find out or discover or create that this is the last visit on Earth in this realm?
All right, so I got into occultism, which is just what's unknown. I mean, what's hidden, right? Hidden knowledge, hidden information, learning how to read ancient texts, the Bible, all kind of things, books, and decode them, because everything is based in symbolism and nothing is as literal as it seems. So I always just felt like I don't want to come back here. I feel like we decide, to be honest. That's what I feel. Everybody don't feel that way. I feel like we decide a lot of things that we feel that we've been taught that we don't decide. Because you can always just feel when certain things is gonna happen, or I mean, well, I can. So that's how I feel about it. So I just always was thinking that, going about my life. And then I wanted to know more information about death, the process of death, what could happen. I know everybody's path is different, so we don't all, go to the same place or experience the same things, but I wanted to know particularly for me. So seek and you shall find. So the information started coming to me, people who knew more about it, me channeling the information myself, learning that I don't actually need other people to co-sign it, but I'm always open to confirmation, because sometimes we have doubts that come up. So it was a lecturer called Brother Panic, actually. I came upon one of his, and he was talking about death and reincarnation, rebirth, and going to the light, going to the darkness, why we're here, our humanity, the healing aspect of it, and all of that. And I feel like I started to have dreams about my past lives. That's when I started to, so I guess you got to know where you've been, right, to know where you're going. So I started having dreams about it. I'm like, oh, so, and it made sense because certain things I'm into right now, and I have no reason why, because nobody in my blood family now has done it. Like, why are you into certain things? It's because I've done it before, and I've used these gifts every time and gotten better and better and better, at deciphering things. So that would be my answer. And it's like, I'm trying to get as detailed as I can, but the real to the point answer is I just know. Like, and I'm trying to describe to you I'm trying to explain to you how I know. Yeah, but I just know. So that's also the answer as well.
Yeah. Star?
First of all, I want to say Grand Rising Elizabeth. I'm still not feeling well, so I'd rather not come on camera. However, for those who watch this recording, I am the picture of the woman with the bald head and the blue shirt. That's the one who's speaking, Miss Zinga. Thank you for coming to share yourself with us. I want to say that you are very special, and you have the opportunity to go to a very high plane, and that God wants to walk with you wherever you go, and you have the choice of whether it is an angel or the Holy Spirit or God Himself to walk with you wherever you go, because God wants to conversate with you wherever you go. You have the opportunity to help a lot of people, which is why you are who you are. And I also remember my past life. I also believe that this can be my last life, depending on what I do in this life. I know what I have to do, and I am very determined to get it done because I don't want to have to come back. So I told God I will be here as long as you need me to be to complete what I came to do. So you are special, no matter what anybody else says. You are very special, and there's a reason why you are who you are. So I wanted to share that with you and thank you again for coming to bless us with yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I received that wholeheartedly, and I'm sending you love. You already feel better. That's how, that's how I choose to see it, visualization. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to get it out. I had to get it out. When God wants me to say something, if I don't say it, it's almost like, like when you're bugging your mama or your father and they not listening, then you just keep doing it. So I had to get that out.
I had to learn that to speak and not be afraid to say things, especially if it's an unpopular opinion. I'm learning that now. There's a lot of things that come to me to share, but I don't, because I don't want to. You got to let go of the fear of being liked by everybody. So I have a YouTube, and when I start really channeling and saying certain things, they're gonna feel a way. People who've been supporting me, who I've done energy coaching for, are gonna feel a certain way, especially as when we get on the topic of gender. But they's just gonna have to go their way, because I gotta say what I gotta say. So all these hot topics right now. So
I also want to say that being born a woman, well, a girl first and then a woman, in this time, in time, is very important because of what women are doing in this time. I also wanted to add that.
Yes. All right. So I know we are not running short on time, but we have just enough time before Zinga has to handle what she has to handle for two things. So the first thing I would love is for you, Zinga, to talk a little bit more about your creative things, where people can find them, how they can get them. And then I would love for us to make a little bit of time, even if it's just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, for whoever's on this call who would like to pour back in to Zinga with your words and with what Spirit gives to you. I would love for that too. So first, talk about your creativity, please.
Do you have a website?
I don't have, well, I do, but it ain't set up. But I have an Etsy where I sell stuff. So the Etsy is Zinga Made It. So my name and Made It. My Instagram is the same thing. It's Zinga, but it's Zinga period made period it. But if you just look up Zinga anywhere, I should pop up. So that's why I sell things online, custom orders, or things that I already have made. Real quickly, since we talk about creativity, and one of my things is womb healing. This is my womb healing pyramid with asterite, serpentine, carnelian, and unakite. So I charge them with a specific intention, if for the person who's buying them, but I also share the intention of why I created it, right? So it's sacral healing as well. People was asking me, do they have to be pregnant or be a woman to get it? And it's like, we all have a womb space, you know what I mean, in the sense of it, even if you don't identify as a woman. But so a lot of the things I create, I have one, I'll share this one too. I saw a vision of this one, so that's why I created it. It has red jasper and seashells. I call this one Ancestral Remembrance. The energy was Sankofa kept coming to me over and over and over, and going back and reclaiming something that's at risk of being lost or forgotten, but also knowing that you are worthy to receive it. So a lot of my energy is water energy, in a sense, island, ocean, sea, and things like that. So I feel like that's why the shells resonate with me the most. But I show you this to say, for creativity, it's all about where I'm at in life. This one is about receiving what you've been manifesting and knowing you worthy, you know, self-worth. I kind of create off of that instead of me, you know, I do custom orders. So if somebody comes to me and they have a particular thing they need help with, oh, thank you. They need help with, then I'll do that. But it's always about where I'm at in life, what I'm experiencing, what I'm being guided, you know, to create what people, you know, I listen. For creativity is what I want to do, but it's also listening to spirit of like, this is what you need to create right now. This is what the people need right now. That's why I started, if you scroll down, you'll see energy coaching, transforming with Zinga. I was afraid to do that. I'm like, nobody not gonna, first of all, pay the prices. You gotta start worrying about that. Am I qualified to create anything? The coaching, the pyramids, because I didn't even know what an organized pyramid was when I started creating them. The word just came to me and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I had never worked with none until I made them myself. So I feel like the experience in life is what really helps me with creative wise. I learned not to be a perfectionist. That don't really serve me at all. You know, getting into like, oh, I used to be so upset if they had a scratch on it or something like that. I'm like, gotta be perfect. But I'm like, it's a spiritual tool, and people who understand that and are really gonna work with it, that's my target market. Those are the people who I'm gonna attract. You know, I learned creative wise, everybody not gonna like what you do. And some things I create, I'm like, well, I don't like it. But it doesn't matter because somebody will buy it and it'd be like, this is perfect. This is what I was looking for. So I'm learning like Queen Aduni, if I said it right, said taking the human too much of your own ego out of things and just listening and just you getting the message to create it, whatever it is. I'm about to be me and a friend are talking about retreats and healing spaces. She's already done one, but we've never done one together. I want to have like healing gatherings all over, but the first one I want to have is for my family. First of all, we gotta start with them. But just not being afraid to create it because they will come, you know, just listen to spirit, listen to what you are guided to do, and know. And that's the aspect of when I have to take myself outside of it, because it's, you know, everything can't be blue because that's my favorite color. Everybody, you know, like I got to think about what other people do, you know, would need, not what they want, but what they need. That's because I've had orders and things when people are like, well, put this and this and that in it. And I'm like, okay, I could do all that, but also what about this? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm feeling energetically, you know, you need something else. So creative wise, not being afraid to put your foot down with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've turned people down who wanted to buy pyramids because the reason they wanted it did not align with why I create them, which is to help the world elevate and remember who they are, which is right at the top. So I was just like, nah, if there's any other kind of reason, I know it's just gonna sit on your desk, you're not gonna use it. And that don't happen too often, but that was that one time. Their pyramid almost got lost in the mail. And I said, I hope they get it, but when they get it, I would never sell them another one. It was like, oh, could I get another? I said, I'm gonna send you to some people I know who make them. Look at their stuff. It might resonate with you. I can't do it because I know I can't go against what I know I'm not supposed to do. So that's where I'm at creative wise. I hope I answered the question. And learning that my gifts make room for me. So don't worry about the money. I trade with people. I trade with somebody, something happened, they couldn't give me what they were supposed to give. Okay, so things come to me in other ways from other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my gift to help me move through life. I'm going to be making big pyramids out of copper as well. You know, like a lot of things that I could do, but it's just whatever I got to do to express myself. But I will say creative wise, we all get to a point where you need a bigger canvas, or you need to go to a bigger body of water or something like that. And that's where I'm at with things. I want to start doing epoxy resin in the flooring, like intentional homes. I spiritually cleanse homes, but I don't advertise that all the time. I floor washes, get you together. Like, I really want to bring back the intentional energy of building a home space and it really being yours and not a cookie cutter home. And knowing that the house has energy, you need to take care of the house. You need to listen to, like these type of things. I feel like that people just neglect a lot of the times. But yeah, that's my spill on creativity. So when you're called to do something bigger or to reach more people or to expand, even if you don't know how, just say yes. Just agree to being used as that vessel. And then everybody who you need and everything you need, because that's what happened to me to go to California. It comes. It lines up to the point where I'm always gonna be amazed. Somebody told me stop being surprised at myself. And I know what they meant, to be like, of course you're doing this, Zinga. And yeah, but I'm gonna be excited, surprised, grateful, or I'm never gonna lose that energy about things. So because that's just how I'm built.
Awesome.
That, especially about California. I love the land.
Yes. Amazing. Absolutely amazing, y'all. I told y'all. I said it earlier. I told y'all. This is a great conversation, and I appreciate you, Zinga, for speaking on so many topics and speaking truthfully from your experience and everything as well. So yes, is there anyone who would like to pour back into Zinga at the moment?
Yeah, I have my hand raised.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah. As you were talking about creating with your resin, I saw a desktop. Okay, so maybe in your creation, desktops where women create. That's the space that I want to create here where I live, is where women create, where women create. And I just saw, because I need a new desktop. I'm just thinking for myself, and I'm just thinking what I want it made out of. And but that's an idea. That's an idea. So that I'm always yeah, with crystals and
I think she showed you,
pictures. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And also, I wanted to know, what is your process for charging your jewelry? Because that's something I intend to start doing, is charging everything I make.
Why are you on the bed? I used to, and I don't do it as much as I used to anymore. I used to, well, when I first create something like the protect my energy one, I like altar work. I love setting up a good altar for anything. It's about being able to see it in the symbolization of it all. So that's what I did. I draw platonic solids or whatever, whatever symbolism of things I bring in. I put it right in the middle of it. I lit my candles. I charged the creation of each one to have that intention. So I've done that in the past. Sometimes if I have a lot of orders at once, I'll make a big altar for all of them, because I also give Merkaba activations, light body activations to them as well. But that's how I started. But as I started to create more, it got to be that it was just my intention, literally, because if I'm making it for this person, it's a custom order. My focus is on what they need healing with the whole time. Whether I'm stirring the resin, because that's energy, right? pouring the resin, like my intention is always on what they need help with, especially if on the order form that they said, I have a option that says, let Zinga add something. Or you can say, no, I know what I want and I don't want you to add anything. So I just make sure I'm really focused and intentional as I do it, because the whole process is energy work, right? So that's my process for it. But I also create charging altered trays as well. That's what I do personally for it. So this is personally what I do. I will put my items in a tray like that, or set up an altar personally for my own. But when I create for other people, it's the same, it's kind of the same thing, but it differs, because sometimes I'll use water, different elements. It's whatever I'm called to do for each particular one, because because that's how it is. It's each unique. But I will say, at some point, there's the altar is coming up, because I do group pyramid activations as well. So yeah, I like altar work. I like being able to see it, put affirmations. I have a crown and a big seashell that I use a lot of the times, that'll go on there for the symbolism and what it means to me. But yeah, so that's how I charge them.
Mama Hat.
Greetings, greetings. First, I want to give a ring. And I just wanted to say, Zinga, so many things that you have touched on have been things that I have dealt with either directly or indirectly. Thank you for holding space for your mother. Thank you for holding that space for her. Because I ask people a lot of times, have you thought about them as a person? And some people can't take their mothers out of motherhood and look at the person that they are. Wow. And also when you spoke about the organite that you had, my organite that was made by Brother Wallace has red jasper and seashells. And I'm like, dang, okay, I'm feeling the connection. And I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing. And I'm going to make us some Elizabeth cards, because we hear and say some profound things. And your card is, my gift makes room for me. That's going to be our first Elizabeth card. I'm recycling, but I'm some Elizabeth cards. Okay. Got to put Jackie's Make It Happen, MIH on there too. I love y'all. And thank you for being in this time space with us, Zinga. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Friday Beths. I love y'all. Thank you.
Okay, hi, this is Reverend Omani. And I just want, young lady, Miss Zinga and Miss Lolly, y'all some powerful young sisters, and I want to acknowledge both of y'all. I was nowhere near where y'all at y'all age. Oh my God, I can't even imagine where y'all gonna be by my age. Oh my God. Y'all are kicking it from the high heavens. Y'all kicking it from, damn, I just got that information, and y'all got that information already. It just gets me geek. Like when you talked about I'm happy and geek, I'm happy and geek too, Zinga. And people be trying to calm me down all the time. Calm my own damn self down. Excuse me, fuck them if they can't take a joke. Woo! Because that's the real deal, girl. Keep it hype, keep it happy, keep doing you. You are just extraordinary, because why? You know that you know. And I just want to tell you that.
All right. Thank you. I like your energy.
Don't even let them turn you back, girl. You go, they try to turn you back, go full tip boogie on their ass. Oh, okay, that's me. That's what I had to say, girl. Y'all awesome. I love the young people. I love the millennials.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the millennials. Why? Because my friends, they be in the bed by 9 or 10 o'clock. I can call them millennials at 12 and 1 o'clock. They still
can't call me at 12:01. I'm in the bed too. My phone be on do not disturb, and I'll be asleep. I'm trying to. I was a little late, but I used to wake up at like 5 a.m. I'm trying to get back to that. So having to be up for this, I'm just gonna keep waking up ever so much earlier. And in California, it's 2 hours ahead of where I'm at. So I'm gonna get back to it.
than that, I'm saying
2 hours behind. Oh, I said here.
more than anything that y'all game. Y'all game for something. Y'all be like, oh, okay, we could do that. So that's what I love. That's what I love. So, so thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Lolly, for inviting her. Oh, and Fridays, the Friday people, y'all be kicking it. Hey.
Oh, Zinga, where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I'm in New Orleans right now. Visiting I'm at a friend's home, which is funny because a tornado came through here on the 14th, and I've never experienced one. And I'm just like, oh, so a tornado while I'm visiting, and I left here over a year ago, right after a hurricane. So I'm like, okay, I feel the energy of transformation for sure. So
Where do you live?
oh, I'm gonna be living in California, 2 hours north of San Francisco.
Okay.
Very rural, in the mountains, like I like it, on a lot of land. So that's how I like it.
I think I want to ask you, what sign are you?
Tropical astrology, a Sagittarius. I don't really go too much into astrology like I used to though. I don't really, whatever I'm guided to look into about it, I do. There's different types of charts. So in one system, there's different systems. So in one system, I would be a Scorpio sun, and that's what's been resonating with me this part of my life. You know, but still, but in all charts, I have a Sagittarius stellium, which means I have a lot of Sagittarius placements, no matter which system you use. So some people call me La Flame, so a lot of fire energy in general. So
Feel that. Good job. Thank you. I'm going on mute now.
Awesome.
yes.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm really, really glad that you were able to hop on. It just was so funny that when I reached out and she was like, I didn't know you were co-hosting a show. I was like, well, and I told Zing, I was like, to be honest, I felt like, you know, I felt like I wasn't quite prepared, worthy. I wasn't quite I guess experienced enough. I feel like I didn't know enough to be able to actually be a part of this in the way that I am, if I could be honest. I don't think I've told anyone on here that out front, but it shows sometimes. But I really didn't feel that. And at first I was like nervous about sharing it because I was like, I gotta practice this first because I don't know. Like I don't know, but I was really excited when it was time to reach out and see who could be a guest on here. And I was really, really, really happy that Zinga agreed to come on and speak because I've definitely been watching from afar because she be all over the place. I've been watching from afar for a while. And I really appreciate her work and the light that she has within her. And I acknowledge that, and I wouldn't bring anybody here who I didn't think had that energy. So thank you again to everybody and to you, Zinga, for coming up. I know you got a dip in a few, so I just wanted to make sure to thank you before you left. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna still listen to y'all though. I got about 5 minutes. And then so when I do leave, I'm just gonna, you know, I ain't gonna be like, bye y'all. I'm just gonna leave. But I'm gonna just say it now, like you said, thank you for having me. Definitely be back. You know, I'm be on the road next week, but still, once I get to where I'm going, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what
Are you in the Detroit area? Do you live in the Detroit area?
No, I'm gonna be in California.
You'll be in California. Okay.
And right now she's in
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
But nah, but I travel around. I have a friend right now building something in Detroit. I don't know exactly what she keeping it to herself, which is beautiful when you planting seeds for things. Like, I know it's something really good though. So I can see myself visiting because she looking at houses there. So, and that's a really, really close friend of mine. So I feel like, yeah, I'm not above traveling. Not in my car as much no more, but I'll catch a flight. But
What is your friend looking to do? She's looking for a house.
yeah, I don't know what she's doing business wise because she's still getting it together. But we was on the phone last night. She said she's looking for a house out there, but she's in Detroit right now. I don't know what area because I don't know nothing about Detroit, but that's where she at.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, you have definitely been a big bowl of information and sharing and eye-opening thoughts. And yeah, we welcome you back anytime. We're here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We have a different host each day. I want to personally thank you for going through the questions that is what Elizabeth is about, about your purpose. And you just went right down. You're the first one who ever did that. Those are questions I asked, and those are questions that define Elizabeth. What's your purpose, and what are you passionate about, and what are you pregnant with, and all of that kind of stuff. And that was how you opened up, is answering those questions. So I appreciate you for that, and all the work that you are doing, and stepping out of the box and doing things that others would have would be scared of or would have told you not to do, especially like being raised Christian. Or no way would I have been able to research some of the things that you have researched, because it would be fear all around it. But I'm learning, and especially with what you have shared, that it's your own personal journey. And you are the one who have the power. You can go deep in a negative way, or you can do your research and use it for good. So I thank you for that. I really thank you. Anyone else?
Excuse me. I just want to say thank you also for the love that you shared with us, Sister Senga, for the love that you have for all that is godly, and for expressing your love with us today, in this oneness that we get to share as Elizabeth, as the Elizabeth part of the body of Christ. It is the love of Christ that passes knowledge. It is the love of Christ in each of us that allows us to have the knowledge that we have, that's a blessing to the whole body. And I thank you so much for sharing all that you have shared with us today, and for what you share with everyone who needs your element of love, and that love that we all share as one in Christ. And with that, I want to say, Merry Christ Mass to you and to all of us as we go forward into this Christ Mass season and into our new year. Let the light of love guide you on your journey. Ms. Zenga, let the light of love guide each of us as we go forward. And with the power, we've become more empowered by being a part of each other. So thank you for that empowerment that you brought into this part of the body. Thank you all for the empowerment that you all have brought, and may we all go forth more empowered because of the experience that we have had and are having of God's Spirit in us as Elizabeths in this Elizabeth experience. Merry Christ Mass. Thank you, Miss Zinga.
All right, thank you for having me.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. Now I gotta go. I'm gonna go pick my mama up, and
Go get them bricks fixed, girl.
I'm gonna see if she wanna join, if that's okay. She about to get her new laptop and everything, so
It's okay. It's welcome. She's welcome.
get her a new group to join. She talking about now she looking for travel jobs in California. Before this, she was scared to go anywhere. So I'm just
Hey,
like, yes.
Mom.
I'm like, okay, trying to see how far she gonna be from me. I'm like, okay, that'll work out. That'll work for me.
So the other thing is there a way, can you put in the chat a way to connect with you?
Yes. So let's see. All right, I have a couple email addresses, but let's just go with so it's gonna be info and Zinga.
So
Oh, this
Zinga
is the
also was enjoying your movement videos too on your Instagram.
what videos?
Your movement videos. You drinking your tea and you doing your thing.
I don't remember when I ain't put a video of me dancing in a minute, so I'm like trying to think when that was. But no, so that's one thing I like to promote though is dance to release, especially stored trauma in your whole body, but especially in the womb area. And knowing that you know it's a gift to be able to dance. Like you don't have to, it don't have to be choreographed, just move. You know, it just loosens up the energy. And then when you just in your element and not really caring about what other people think, you automatically gonna be a great dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like people, you ain't, you know, I remember I was on there one time and I was just literally I had a big afro and I was just moving my leg and I was saying, I had a quote. I said, my grandma said, I don't have to do nothing but stay black and die. And people was like, oh my gosh, your video. And I'm like, y'all, I'm literally just moving my leg. Like I'm not even doing nothing. But it's the energy and it was my intention. I was thinking about my grandma and she's the one introduced me to music and Donny Hathaway, Sam Cooke. Like I still listen to that. That's who raised me. So my introduction to music was different than most people my age. So I'm thinking about her and they just feel that love from me thinking about her or whatever I'm thinking about as you dancing or as you releasing. So it's not even particularly about specifically like, you know, you're gonna be on beat because you're gonna be in alignment with what you're doing because that's what you're doing. So my mom, when I was young, made a joke and about me not being able to dance. I was like 7 and I never forgot that.
All right, girl, I see you moving.
So yeah. Oh yeah, that was in Georgia. Yeah, I had to be dancing because I ain't like living there. That's why I went when I first moved. I ain't never lived with that many people and that many energies. And I didn't like that. So when I'm going now, I got to be on 40 acres of land. I could be by myself because I don't have time to be that close to people. But thank y'all for having me. Let me go because I gotta make the appointment. So
Thank you. See ya.
But enjoy the rest of y'all day. All right. I'll see y'all next time. Let's see.
Yay.
That was great, dear.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Take a deep breath.
Thank you for introducing Zinga to us.
No problem.
It's my reasonable service.
Y'all forgive me about the Make It Happen. The Make It Happen came out. Make it fun. Make it fun. Let me rewrite my card. I'm using now Wheelie's ink pen from her party to write these cards, a glitter orange pen.
Oh,
Aww.
So I got a question about the cards Mama had. Because I've been thinking about, you know, the Elizabeth cards too, not necessarily making them myself, but to what extent can we be a part of your process in making them? Or you want to just go ahead and do it and present them?
Well, you are a part of, you're the reason why I'm making them.
Okay.
You know how we said we want to put it on the t-shirt?
Mm-hmm.
There's the card. You know, I'm just starting. It's been done oh my goodness, it's just rushing off to my head. It's been on my heart. I've been wanting to make, Danielle knows how far my cards go, because I had her give me a quote and give me a picture, and they just haven't manifested yet. So I said, let me start again. I'm just gonna keep beginning again until I get it.
Guess what? And I'm with you, Mama Head. It's a card and it's a t-shirt. It's a movement. So
I've been dreaming for the past. It's been taking the little time I do sleep. I have been these cards have been like, let's make cards out of what Elizabeth is saying. Now I'm gonna start small. I have Four Brothers Cellular. They donate card. They don't know, but they donated these cards. So we're gonna start here, and I'm gonna make them up. I've had the website. I have a girlfriend who told me, I told her I was gonna make cards, and she has made her cards, and they out. And I think I bought about 15 sets. Every time I get a set, I give them away. I can't even keep the I am cards. So I'm gonna buy me another deck, but I'm gonna go ahead and make ours. I'm gonna make ours. Maybe that'll give me more push.
okay,
So.
I'm sorry, I'm back. And I think if each one of us just give you a saying or two, you know, I know we all have things that we all say, that, you know, you hear one thing, I'm blessed and highly favored. That's a card. Because sometimes you need to be reminded that you were blessed and highly favored. So I'm like, we give what we say. You will, you know, make it fun, you know, and you're also movement. So have a card and sit there, be like, well, I need today, you need movement. Okay, well, let me get up and move. I like that idea. And I also like to see if we could do that. We could put on a t-shirt too, because it's a movement. Just saying. That's me. I'm just saying.
Is our sister on the teacup? I would love the teacup. The teacup sister and the teacup could be the back of the card. Is that y'all like that? Y'all like that?
Mm-hmm.
For that day.
I like that. And how many cards do we need? How many cards are we creating in a deck?
No, I'm not. No, that's you. You decide that. I'm not gonna put no limits on it. I mean, no limit, baby. So I don't know. This just came up. Write stuff down. I don't even know. Just collect. If you're in your travels during the day and somebody says something profound, write it down and keep it in your little space, and I'll let you know when I'm collecting.
You are so, I love you. That's all I can say is that I love you. And I like that heart to top. That's cute.
Can I say something?
It's one of my scoops.
Can I say something?
Say something, Mama.
Yeah.
Okay, so just like, how I want to say it. Okay, you guys, so now there's certain principles we putting in place. We may not like have it organized like that, but there's certain principles getting put in place. The first principle that's getting put in place is, what's your intention? And if you set your intention, then all that, we go do this, we go do that, and that. You ain't got to do all that. Set your intention. Mama Head, you got the cards. What's the intention for the cards? You set the intention. You tell us what the intention is. We focus on the intention. And then what the to do about it, it'll just show up. You step into it and it's done.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah. I think that is the deck we need from you, Mama Head. The one that just comes from.
No, you need to set an intention first. Please, just set the intention. And then all that, that's how we get in front of spirit, and we don't get what we're asking for.
Right.
God don't need our help. He just needs us to be a channel for what he wants to have created through us. For real.
That's right.
You know, I love this. This just brought me back to earlier when Queen Aduni was talking about not correction but redirection. Earlier, thank you.
Awesome.
I think I heard Mama had say that in this forum, as she hears, then she writes. And that's so very organic that once she hears it and it resonates in her spirit to say, that's going on the card. And then she writes it down on the card. And then I believe before you know it, you will have what you intended, is to share the wisdom from the Elizabeths as it has been shared.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is just that organic. And you've even announced, oh yeah, I like that. You said this, whatever it is, I like that. And it's true, if it resonates with you, it'll resonate with somebody else. So I hear you, Mama. I hear you. And I can't wait to see how God unfolds you, to work through you to unfold this deck of Elizabeth cards and sayings. So, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you both for your wisdom. Thank you both. Thank you both.
Oh, wow. I heard something else too. You know how we have so many people come on who are a resource? We need to, what would be great if we created a resource list?
Mm-hmm.
Because there have been some people here, I'm like, okay, who was that? You remember the young lady who came on and talked about she had a book club?
That's Lady, Mama Lauren's daughter. Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like, okay, I'd have to go through all the archives to find her.
You know what, Reverend Omani, I was thinking about when I have a guest on to put their link in the page on Facebook. Yes, it needs to go somewhere else as well, but you know, like a little directory thingamajig. You know,
that's what I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that would be so powerful. Because then, you know, it's like this sister right here. She had Nzinga. She had a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
But to be able to know who it, we'll never forget her name, but to be able to go and see what were those resources again and which one of them we want to use. We had enough people on here with the financial page, so we definitely need a financial page with people with all the financial information. We don't have plenty of healers, so we need to put the healers up there. Oh yeah, okay, so I just had that idea. And then we got the spiritual coaches on here, put them on here. We got the jewelry makers on here. We got the community workers on here. So we're getting a large group of people. So, but then I'm gonna tell you what happened to me yesterday. I'm supposed to get these herbs from Nicole, Dr. Nicole. I go all the way over to get the thing from Dr. Nicole, and oh, I got to see Mama Het and her man. That was cool. So I got to see where Mama Het lived. So that was the journey. But I had to go meet Nicole and her sister and her mom in Dearborn. Okay, here we go. I go down to Dearborn. The food is looking so good. I was like, excuse me, y'all mind if I join you? So I sit down and I have lunch with Nicole, her sister, and her mother, whose name is Gwendolyn, who is what I switched my name from. My given name is Gwendolyn. So me and Gwendolyn, we sit, girl, yes, it was like that. So I had one of those moments too yesterday, Queen, doing one of those moments. You go, what's really going on? We laughed and had so much fun. It was like I was their family. It was so awesome. So I want to share that with you guys. Yeah, it was really good.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
But
that's like it really
came
came from a hook. Yeah, you know, when Juanita had her thing and Nicole was there, and Nicole, I got some herbs from her. Girl, I ain't never had no purple tea before, so I'd be hunting that purple tea down. I'd be like, give me that purple tea. Cause tea is always brown, yellow. I put that tea in, it's purple. I'm in love.
Magic.
So, yes, so it's from the resources that we're creating here. So they're powerful resources. And wow, well, it's, yeah, yeah, it's a network that's being created here. I feel that like a network, a huge network being created. So
I'm
So,
going on mute again.
so it is 10:01, and I want to share something
Queen,
with you. If you, yes, somebody said something.
it was me.
Yeah,
Again, this is the woman with the bald head.
we
I
all know.
wanted to say, and Queen, you could correct me if I'm not correct, that the intention of the Elizabeths, since we are pregnant with visions and dreams, is first of all to feed our babies, and second of all to help everyone else who is pregnant with visions and dreams, which is why we record these sessions. And so that, in my mind, is the intention of the Elizabeths. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And that being said, were you finished, Star?
Yes.
I want to share something that from one of our sisters, and then we will be complete. Yes, Danny.
Hey, right, really, before we leave, thank you so much. A couple of things in the chat very quickly. Is it that, Evelyn, is it your birthday on the 25th? Oh, well, really, we need to say happy birthday.
Yes.
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 Happy birthday to
Yes, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And the other thing is the information about the rites of passage.
Mhm.
I don't, now, Queen, you sent that out?
No,
Oh,
yeah, I need you to send it to Pam because
oh,
I don't
okay.
have, I sent you a message back. Yeah, because I didn't buy the program. I just use it through Google. I
program.
can't, the program, which is Microsoft.
Got it. Okay,
I just
so,
use it through Google and I can't send it. So send it to Pam. I check your email. I sent it.
okay, I'll check. All
Yeah.
right.
Mhm. Her.
Okay.
Queen, also before we wrap up, I wanted to share a Christmas song that my babies made too.
Okay. Okay. Just 1 second. Let me get this.
Good day. My name is Nawili Griffin, and I hail from Los Angeles, California.
Can you all
I'm here at
hear?
the Heidelberg Pride.
Let me make sure.
Yes, we
that
can hear.
Oh,
We
you
can
can?
hear.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
It's artist in residence, but I refer to myself now as an ambassadoress in residence. And my art form that I participate in, I call tree weaving, AKA yarn bombing. My participation here has allowed me to create a practice where wrapping and weaving around the trees allows me to have a quiet, meditative, healing space. In line with the vision here at the Heidelberg, we just take and make all of it magic, and whatever it sounds or seems like, we just keep uplifting it and lifting each other each and every day. And for all of this, we're grateful to have this opportunity to meet and greet the face of the divine in everyone. And for all of this, I'm grateful. I feel that I'm connecting people in the community. I go out and I am definitely an ambassadoress for the Heidelberg. I also am in capacity as just an emerging artist, embracing that no matter at what age, creativity is our medicine and art is our joy. My gift here I have been given is a gift of just a loving family environment where we grow, where we heal, and every day we get an opportunity to see the magic in life as opposed to any disharmony or dis-ease or any place where we may be running from something. We get a chance here in Heidelberg to run and embrace anything that is different, for we are all one, and we come in many different colors and shapes and sizes. Truly knowing this, it is a blessing to be here at Heidelberg and be a part of the magic every day. It's a beautiful place here in Detroit that has embraced me and allowed me to express my art. It's given me the opportunity to give from a space in my heart, in my mind, and in my vision, and to actually just align with the vision here at Heidelberg, to see that there is no difference in what looks like trash. It is indeed a treasure, as are the people of the city, of this area. And given this opportunity, I hope and pray that I have come to be a beneficial presence and uplift the philosophy and the vision of Heidelberg in everything that I do, I say, and I think.
Whoa.
Yay!
TV station.
Oh, did she leave?
Wow.
Y'all see them the Sagittarius thighs? Them
Mhm.
Wow, that was beautiful. She popped
Lolly,
off. She jumped off. So, oh my goodness, that was wonderful. She had
Lolly,
just
y'all
texted to me.
created that.
So, mm-mm-mm.
Y'all created that, Lolly?
Oh no, not that.
No,
Not
was,
that one. That's
was
all
Okay.
not we.
yeah, not really. And she
Awesome.
jumped off. Mm-hmm.
That's how you walk into 70, baby. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Lolly.
Yes. So, as promised, I'm not gonna sing a Christmas song, but I helped make sure my babies, my music babies that I work with, we created a Christmas song. We actually created a whole EP, and I'll drop the link in here if y'all want to listen to all 3 songs on your own time. But we made a song, and I'm gonna share it with you, and hopefully, it gives you a little energy, a little youthful energy as we go on for the day. So let me share. Oh, can you allow me to share my screen, please?
Get rid of that. Participants. So make sure you guys text now really, because she jumped off. You got it, baby.
Got it. Thank you. All right. This is our little winter solstice EP with our 3 songs. We're gonna listen to song number 2. Yes. S into the O, so S into the O, so drop. It's so beat. It's so. Come on. It's into the O, it's so. It's into the O, it's so. It's snowing. It's snowing. It's snowing. Come on, it's into the O, W. It's snowing. It's into the O, W. It's snowing.
It's snowing outside. Shadows are left behind. There's snow over the ground. Everybody's sliding around. Everyone is having fun. No need for fighting our guns. If we sit and rhyme, there will be no crime.
It's snowing. It's snowing.
Santa goes, ho ho ho, the elves goes, snow snow snow. Elves get presents day and night, they don't even cause a fight. Make sure you're not naughty but nice, so you can get presents overnight. It's snowing, yeah, it's snowing. Come on, come on, it's snowing, yeah, 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 it's snowing. Come on, it's snowing. It's Christmas, y'all. It's
S into the O, W. S into the O, W.
It's snowing.
Into the O, W. S
It's snowing. It's snowing.
S into the O, W. S into the O, W.
It's snowing.
It's snowing.
It's snowing.
It's snowing. It's snowing.
It's snowing. It's snowing. It's snowing. Okay.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
There you
Make you
go.
feel a little better about the snow outside if you didn't like
Yeah, because I can see it like with my my window here.
Yeah,
Mm.
me too.
That's beautiful.
So Mama Evelyn loves to dance, wants to dance. So on her birthday, her Earth Day, so we're going to make sure everybody dance. Obviously, we can't get together, you know, unless you come online. I'll come online and dance with you, Mama, if you want to, girl.
Okay.
What time you want me on? What time?
Ooh,
How about 10 o'clock
okay.
in the morning? We're just going to come
Okay.
on and we're going to dance. We're going to pump it up and get the day started. Anyone want to join us? 10 o'clock, just dance.
That's Sunday, right?
Yep.
Sunday. Yep. All
On
right.
your Zoom, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't tomorrow Saturday? Did you
Yes.
say tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Saturday. No, we're doing it Sunday.
Her birthday is on Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's Evelyn Day on the 25th. It's Evelyn Day.
Hey, Mama Evelyn. Okay. 10 o'clock. So you still get to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
Have your dancing heels on. Open air, right?
My
Love
dancing
you
feet.
all.
Love you.
Y'all too.
Peace.
Love you
Be
all.
safe if you have to be out there, please.
Yes.
Yes, and stay warm.
Mhm.
Don't skip our thing. Come on, Mama Queen. Don't skip our thing. Hug yourself. Come on now. Hug yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was about to say to Lolly, good show.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
show, Lolly.
Good show. And then of course to my other partner, Danny, great show. All of you.
Danny.
Let's hug. Of course we can't leave without hugging ourselves. Kiss, and hug the world because you know they need it. And sprinkle joy and prosperity and peace on earth, goodwill to all men. Peace out. Make it fun.